What is up, my cutouts cardboard ninja, coming at you with the Frostbite Assault first look. You and I, we're just going to live react to. Just kidding, we're not going to live react to this. We're just going to skip to the salient points. Nobody wants to see a live reaction. So, long story short, we're going to skip right on past all of this. We're going to look at this guy's scary mug. Once again, so a long time ago, and this is the splash screen for the thing. A long time ago, I was learned a lesson about video games, and that is the more beautiful and hot the chick that is on the cover art, the less they want you to look at the gameplay. It's like, don't look at the gameplay. Look at the picture of this chick. Everybody remembers EverQuest or anything like that. And they're doing it. They're doing it. So let's skip right along. Tier 1 of the BP, you get nothing. As always, it's going to be a wasted week, except they're giving you 2 super plows. For those of us who are unfamiliar, I told you that they were coming out with a plow, and that plow is going to be better in every way, shape, and form than the current plow, and of course I am right. Oh, darn. Scrolled improperly so you can't see, but the durability is 698, mass is 124 kilograms. So, and you get 2 of these icebreakers. That's pretty insane. Really, really good bumper. Absolutely great. They're going to try and push forward with their thermal damage. We've got, obviously, the new Hyperborean parts, which actually have the new, as they're trying to point out that it's got the new damage type resistance, which is cryogenic, which is silly. By the way, as a minor aside, we have thermal damage in the game. Thermal just means temperature. It doesn't mean heat. Not necessarily, right? So you could deal thermal damage in negative, but they decided to not do that, add their other type of damage, call it cryogenic. In this instance, this individual is attempting to show off the new hologram right before he shows off the Jotun. The Jotun is this little gun right here that works more or less exactly like the incinerator, except for whatever reason it's turreted instead of fixed. He's trying to explain that you can both heat a part or cool a part, but never both at the same time. That's what was said out loud. They're lying. They're just lying, because as demonstrated when they fire both, eventually, he's like, oh, look, there's an incinerator. What happens if you hit him with both? Well, you hit him with both. They said that you can't have both. The cooling effect is the blue aura. The burning effect, which we all know, the part heating, is the red glow. What does that look like to you? Does it look like that? What does it look like over there? Let's just scroll back just a little bit. You guys can watch this in real time. Tell me if you can't see them both glowing blue and or glowing red. Looks like it's heating up with red. And to me, it looks like there's a little blue aura around that. And he drives through it just to show you, this is what happens when you're dumb enough to walk through your own ice. You take damage. The slowing effect doesn't appear to be that great, though, to be completely honest. It slows you, but not that much. So, we'll see how that turns out. Maybe 2 of them, I mean, it is pure damage, is the second pure damage, not second, it is the type that deals pure damage. See, look, he drives through his heat and heats himself and cools himself at the same time. They say you only get one effect, but it looks like you get both. Anyway, we'll have to test that in game to figure out which one is, you know, who knows the game better? The devs or Cardboard Ninja? So, by the way, you get the Jotun at week 3. Week 1, you get nothing. Week 2, you get, I believe, nothing. No, I'm sorry, you get your second Jotun. Do you get 2 Jotuns at week 3? Oof. Nope, week 3 is the first Jotun. Week 1 is nothing, obviously. You get the plow, you get some coins, or sorry, lighters, which are useless until the very end of the battle pass, because you need to save up 900 of them to make a single thing. Usually, you get the idea. You've been in a battle pass before. And if you haven't been in a battle pass, then you understand that many of these are dead levels. They get you effectively nothing. Like, this chest is nothing, this is nothing, these are nothing, nothing. It looks as though at the beginning of this BP, it does. Oh, he's just covering it. There's no way to know what you get at level 10. But whatever it is, he's skipping over it to show off the cast part. So when it gets released in game, we will take a look. Week 3 weeks in, you unlock the mastery, the Jotun, as mentioned prior, which is Week 4, you get the super fun Ammunition module. Oh, great. Hold on a second. I realize that I'm blocking in the lower left-hand corner of my screen. But that's fine. It doesn't matter. It's the stupid little ammunition container. The one that makes it so your cloaking device lasts 15 seconds longer, or you get booster fuel. And they're of course removing booster fuel from current ammunition crates. So that's fun for week 4, when you finally get this in the middle of week 4 and are like, wow, my game hasn't changed at all. Week 5, you finally get the actual item that the booster module is for, and he demonstrates it. It's exactly as you would expect. You get 30 seconds of invisibility, showing it off now. You can use it in any increments that you want. If you decloak yourself manually, you have a 6-second cooldown on your cloak, as you can see down here with the mouse. But if you get hit or fire your guns, it goes to 16 seconds, so it adds like 10 seconds. The duration... Oh, I will rescale this. Actually, no, hold on. Better, except not. So, yeah, the duration is 30 seconds base, 15 seconds per additional module that you poop on there. But that's it. There we go. Nothing super special about it other than the fact that it might have some interesting interactions with the Nova, with the Beholder, because the Beholder allows you to stay invisible after you're taking damage for a couple seconds. That may actually give you the ability to deactivate that cloak, and then thereby get your 6-second cooldown during that time period. It might. Don't quote me on that. It might. I don't know for certain, but it very well may do that. Next week comes after that, the Narwhal. We're looking at week 6. This is the Frost Cannon that they give you only one of. You're going to need 2. I thought for a while that these bottom legs were part of the mount. They're not. They're actually, they just spin around with a cannon. It looks ridiculous. Here we go. For whatever reason, he refused to fire 2. But as you can see, the little legs go with the cannon, so it always looks dumb. The damage is interesting. I don't think the damage is that good. The Narwhal has an interesting perk because it says the projectiles, freeze enemy parts by 20%. So that means that you have to hit 5 times for 100% frozen. But this weapon, because again, it was described earlier that it would increase projectile damage. No. It increases its own damage. This weapon will deal increased damage when hitting frozen parts. If it is 100% frozen, the maximum bonus is 100%. That's what that means. Otherwise, it could have been cool. Unfortunately, less cool. I don't recall if they actually shoot at the damage ball. But as you can see, the damage is... for one of them, not super exceptional. But if you can get repeated hits, and I think you actually do have to alternate fire in order to make sure the things are actually frozen when you hit them, this might actually end up doing okay damage. But it's kind of like... it's kind of like the Mammoth, where repeated hits get you more damage, but the problem is the Narwhal's repeated hits against the same target are what's required to increase your damage. He's trying to show that off now, but the damage never really gets that high. So that is what it is, though. It's okay. I'm looking forward to the Narwhal anyway, even though it has supposedly high hit damage. Durability 993. Really Chonker's weapon. Real Chonker's weapon. Also, it has 100% penetration, for whatever that's worth. That simply means that the bullet will go all the way to the maximum distance before detonating. Which is to say, if it has 60 bullet damage, then it will have to deal all 60 of it before it actually starts dealing its explosive damage. So this is the interesting thing. I think it's called the Freya, or whatever the hell this gun is. It's the flamethrower. Here's the thing. It's not a flamethrower. As you'll note, look how far this thing shoots. And I really mean that. Because they don't really focus on this, but this thing shoots exceptionally far. Like, really... Did you see that? Did you see it shoot off into the distance? Watch this. Did you see that? See where my mouse is? Those little falling dots? Those are all part of the Freya's... I forgot the name of this gun. Those are all part of this gun's projectile. This projectile is not like a flamethrower. It looks like a flamethrower because it fires, kind of like a flamethrower, but, like, watch. You see? Look at these. Those little dots off in the distance. Way over here. This thing has incredible range. It does not appear to have a range limit other than the projectile timeout time. And the projectile timeout time is not like flamethrowers where it's like point blank range. Perk of this gun, the more you hit them with it, the less damage they do, up to 25% less damage. But this could be very hilarious, honestly. I foresee this on hovers simply because it does pretty dang good damage. Like, the damage is actually really, really good. I mean, it does it quickly. I don't know if it does it well, but it seems to do it quickly. You have to worry about the fact that he added in a ram damage in there, and he never really truly focuses or shoots the damage ball because he's not good at his job. But yeah, that could be interesting, considering it's a longer range weapon. The fin whale, I actually will get out of the way for this. As you can see, fin whale, it is the new engine. Does super fast movement speed to massive amount of tonnage. 4K tonnage, 1.5K mass limit, 28% cabin top speed because we're getting it fused clearly. And then in addition to all that, increases the damage and protection, or the damage protection of weapons. Remember, damage protection is not the same thing as damage resistance. Damage protection increases basically the hit points of the object by 50%. While it moves at a speed of greater than 60 kilometers an hour. So basically, you get to that 50% damage resistance at 110 kilometers an hour. And of course, it has recoil reduction. He attempts to show this off by driving and shooting, but you can't really tell because he never shot the cannons without driving. He's not the best at demonstrating. Continuing forward. The new cabin, the Whaler. He shows this off with a cannon, also does it poorly again. He's like, oh yes, you generate charges based on recoil, blah, 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 blah. And then when you activate it, you do a bonus. And it's not a very big bonus, it's 25%. 25% projectile velocity, 25% damage. What's really funny is, and we will show you this to you if you haven't seen it live, he goes to the trouble of charging it, and it takes forever because he chooses the wrong thing to charge it with. He should have chosen auto cannons or the Reaper. He should have chosen something that genuinely constantly produces recoil, but he didn't. And so he takes forever to try and generate charge with the cannons. Keep going. A little more. Takes forever to generate charge with the cannons. And you guys might be wondering, well, at least he shows off afterwards the damage bonus, right? He shows that off, especially seeing you get a control based on what he shoots, right? Yeah, no. So he activates it and misses. He just shoots a shot into the distance. And he's like, oh, I got to shoot something. Oh, and he shoots a damage ball. There you go. That's it. That's the cabin. It's very lackluster showing. I believe that, however, in case you are interested, this will, again, I already mentioned that autocannons and Reapers will definitely benefit from this. Autocannons constantly produce recoil, and a lot of it. Anybody who's ever played this game knows that autocannons, you can't put them on small builds because they'll tip you over, they'll slap your ass over, and they do it all the time. So there you go, another alternative for the Stillwind. He shows off the armored slab. This thing is, in and of itself, shouldn't be in the game. I thought it was a cool idea when I saw it, but the numbers are just too out of whack. I'm going to pause it right here so you can see these numbers. This is 85% bullet damage resistance. 85% bullet damage resistance. 50% explosion resistance. 65% thermal, which is relevant. 65% energy, which is pretty relevant. And 65% cold. When he demonstrates this, he's like, oh, well, only this gets the damage resistance. This just has the durability of the part. And this is also interesting. This is the first part that increases vehicle durability, but less than its own durability. So you get 93 hit points for putting this on your build, to your cabin, right? But the part itself only has 49 points of durability. Really interesting stuff. So he decides to show it off, puts the thing on there, throws on a Scorpion, and fires through the protected portion eventually. 39 damage. Remember, the Scorpion's base damage is, I think, 266 or something like that. Takes it down to 39. That's obvious, because it has 85% bullet resistance. And so, what this is going to do, everybody with a brain knows this already. All hovers, you're going to take these parts, no shit. You're going to mount them vertically, no shit. You put them where you put bumpers, just mounted vertically, protecting your guns, and when shots come in, they're going to hit the top part of that and do jack and shit. Unfortunately, what he didn't do was refresh this by returning back from the thing and showing off, you know, how shooting through this part works. He just shoots it like plain on. He's just like, oh, I'm just gonna shoot it again. And of course, it has no hit points left. It has 9 hit points left. So fucking obviously, it stops nothing because, you know, the base hit points of the object is 49, and it just took like 40 of that. It's not gonna show. It's not a good demonstration, but anyway, you get it. Yeah, 266 base. So I expect Scorpions to come down in price again because there's a lot of stuff that's going to inhibit how Scorpions play coming up. And I think that's all he shows off. There are, of course, recipes. He shows off this Wonder of Wonders Brawls, which will get you a dumb cat. Not sure. 1,000 people will end up getting 50 coins and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, as these weird Wasteland of Wonders missions happen. Play him, I guess. He tries to show them off, but he is very bad at the video game, and everyone's like, "Oh, Cardboard Ninja, you're very bad at it." He's worse than I am. He nothing rammed him. He just flipped. He's like, "Oh." Anyway, long story short, we're gonna skip past his boring gameplay of a boring game mode that most people are only gonna play if they need, unless, you know, forced to. Other than that, that is the battle pass. I think it's 72 levels. Oh yeah, he's showing off the crafts. Surprise, surprise! Everything requires stuff from previous battle passes that nobody has left. Hope you've got arguments laying around. Hope you've got arguments. Let's just go back, go through these costs to craft. So this one requires pyralids, and I don't believe those are therms. I think those are AC50s. So this is actually craftable. The Jotun, actually craftable. Meaning that people can actually use workbench materials, even though one of those like workbenches may require you to have had one of the previous battle passes. This requires piercers and summiters, and once again, if you have the actual workbench, you can actually produce these runes more or less at will. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep moving. Crappy Omnibox, which is going to require way too many lighters. Crappy Bastion. Oh yeah, I think they are buffing the Bastion. Yeah, the Bastion does have, for whatever reason, it does have cold resistance on the front plate. So they did add that. Bully for the Bastion. There's a Jawbreaker. Come on, skip. Why is this guy so bad at presenting? Oh my lord. Because what we want to look at is the Prosecutor 76mm. We don't want to look at crafting the new stuff. Come on. Oh look, Fused Mammoths. In the Battle Pass, the Narwhal, which exists, but it was going to cost 650. Scatty, that's what it's called. But he is not clicking on the recipes for the base Narwhal or the base Scatty. Yep, no, he just never does. He just never does. So that'll be interesting to see. However, I did see something early on that I'd like to show you guys. This is irrelevant to the Battle Pass, but relevant to the fact that this guy's got access to a special account for this. When he's trying to desperately click through and build something, you can see his inventory. So give me a second. Let me see if we can't find that real fast. He's talking. Oh wait, I remember now. It was literally right here. Hold on. Bam. The Vault. What's this? What's this cabin? The Vault cabin? What? Has anyone seen this before? I was looking around to see all these things. We got the Tusk Torero, Torero Manito at the bottom, Janibi, Harpy, Cockpit, Cerberus, Hot Red, Aggressor, Bat, Growl, etc., Duster, but the Volt. It looks like there's a new cabin either on the way or at least available for devs and not us. But interesting. Interesting stuff right there. I don't think it ever shows up again. Obviously, he never builds with it. He just clicks through stuff, etc. But yeah, maybe we're going to get a new blue cabin someday. Who knows? Other than that, let's just cut to the chase. Do I think this battle pass is worth it? Yes, I do. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Unfortunately, / fortunately, there's a lot of stuff coming across out. And a lot of it's coming in this battle pass. This battle pass is unlike the Sky Warden, Sky Raiders. The reason why it's unlike it is because of the fact that it's bringing weapons that are actually viable. Incinerators are good, so the Jotun, even if it isn't as good as the Incinerator, could still just be good to have. This ammunition crate is terrible and stupid, but it's part of the battle pass, so you may as well pick it up if you pick up the battle pass. Getting a cloak, let's assume that you don't have a cloak. Let's assume you don't have Chameleon Mark 1 or Chameleon Mark 2. Perfect. Now you never need to get one. You just pick up this Yeti, it will outperform either. I mean, they're giving away a lot of legendaries during this one. Let me just pause this, see if there's anything else in here. We got the Fin Whales, we got the Pegasi, Bootstrap, Gas Gen, nope. The Narwhal Cannon is decent. It doesn't seem to do a lot of damage. It does less than I'd expect, but... okay, so the real issue is that it's not just that it does less than I expect, it does... it's a standoff weapon, right? Cannons are standoff weapons. Tsunamis, Typhoons, all those guns are meant to keep you at a very large distance, and they do so by slapping you very hard, right? And so it's very difficult for you to close distance because of the fact that you take so much damage closing distances. And you don't want to exchange at long distances with cannons. You want to close distance. This is like a close distance cannon. It's more like the Mammoth. So you want to get those repeated hits. You kind of want to stay, you don't want to stay exposed to your opponent, but you're going to end up staying exposed to your opponent. I think that it's still worth getting. If you don't have Mammoths, if you don't have Typhoons, if you don't have cannons, right, then you might as well start up. Why not start with the Narwhal? It's if you're brand new to the game, may as well pick it up. Projectile velocity, I can't tell because he doesn't shoot at a distance that's doesn't shoot at a target over long distance because he's just terrible at presenting weapons. He doesn't shoot the damage ball, but it seems like an okay cannon. I mean, from what I can tell, I think its projectile would probably land above that of the Mammoth, but below that of a Typhoon. I'm guessing. But that's a guess. That's the best I can do. Damage seems to be okay. So is there value in this battle pass? Absolutely. This weapon's going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Simply because of the fact that it can shoot real distances. Like real distances. Like truly annoying distances. Which is to say you might be able to fight machine gunners. Probably not well. But probably not the way that you would want. But the sheer fact that you can cool down their guns and remove the effects of their Omawari probably going to be very interesting. Plus the fact that, you know, it can be converted into a dog, and it's just, you know, look how far away that shoots. Like, you can, obviously that's not a true engagement range way off in the distance. Trying to rain snow on someone from across the map isn't going to be as effective as blasting them in the face with it. But the sheer fact that you're able to land hits over distances is still good. You get an engine, not only that, the fastest engine in the game. It's giving damage resistance, but I mean, in a game where we're adding in cold, where we're trying to remove all damage resistance, I mean, kind of not a good time to add that, kind of counterintuitive. And the cabin is meh. Though, honestly and truly, the cabin is going to work better with autocannons than cannons. So if you want another autocannon cabin, give yourself 25% bonus damage with 25% projectile velocity. Why not? I mean, I can see that working pretty well with the Cyclone meta that's currently out there. So yeah, there you have it. That's what I think about this upcoming Battle Pass. I think, unfortunately, it is worth it. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up getting it if I haven't already. And this chick is super hot, which is a problem. You know it's a problem. Problem is, they're trying to distract you. They're like, don't look at this. Don't look over here. No, don't look over here. Don't look at this gun over here. Don't look at the gameplay. Look at this. This is what's in the game. This is not in the game. This is a different game. You never see you never see these people. God damn it. You never see this bitch. But bet you wish you did. Alrighty. Go ahead and leave your comments below. See you guys in this Battle Pass when it comes out, I believe tomorrow. Like, oh my goodness. This is dropping hot tomorrow. So, there's the Volt again. Alrighty, guys. Peace.